welcome to a stormy 폭우잖아. 폭우, stormy day here in Istanbul. That's why I'm at home. So whenever you see me wear like this, I'm at home. Why? Because boom, look at the weather today. The storm kind of died down a little bit, but last night was like. But you still can't see very far. Still raining, and it really like gets really heavy sporadically. And then days like this, I just stay home. Yeah, like yesterday, Wendy was asking me, like what does the weather even matter? How does the weather? Why is the weather the most important thing? Thing I look at every single morning when I wake up. Oh, yeah, just woke up, and oh, and yeah, this is why when it's raining heavily like this, I simply don't go out. Like I don't even have an umbrella at home. If I go out, I'll be all drenched. Why do I not have an umbrella at home? Because when it's rainy like this, I simply have no reason to have to go out. Yeah, I'm not going to school or anything. So, and I work from home. So yeah, I have I don't really need to go out right now. So that's why I don't bother to have an umbrella, because nothing can force me to go out in that kind of weather. Simply have no reason to do so. So, 굿나잇은 좋은 아침이에요. 불금입니다. 드디어 아주 지친 일주일 끝에 같이 커피하면서 이야기하자. At last, we made it to the end of the week. Let's have a coffee and have a chit chat. Like home is definitely my favorite place to stream from, because it's safe and protected from all the enemies of anti-aging. No UV, no external factors to consider. I don't worry about talking too loudly and disturbing people in the cafes that I stream from. I don't worry about internet running out, because I have unlimited at home. Yeah. And it's nice and cozy. I can be however I like. I can do whatever I like. Go. It's a rainy day. Hallelujah, it's a rainy day. Yeah. Home is definitely my favorite place to stream from. And if you just join me, good morning. Yes, it's 10:30 a.m. in the morning here in Istanbul. If you're new to my live stream, this is a live stream where every morning here in Istanbul, I pretty much go to a different place or location, show you guys something about Istanbul, and then grab a coffee and then chit chat about life. Thing is, when it's raining or snowing heavily out there, then I don't go out. In those days, I was just stream from home, like right now, like today, where we just have a chit chat. And I just woke up, so my hair is all. I just woke up, so my hair is very, very unhappy. And you may be looking at me, but all I'm looking at is the mirror. It's pretty much a mirror right here, right? So what do you do when you're talking to yourself in the mirror? What do? You do your clothes, you do your hair. Natural human reaction. So guys, try to put up with it. Let me just open up the window a little bit. You guys see us looking at a kissing scene behind. Once again, good morning, günaydın, ohayo gozaimasu. Günaydın is Turkish for good morning. And if you're new to my live stream, I've been here in Turkey for 1 year and 3 months so far. Actually coming to 1 year and 4 months. Time flies. 1 year, 2 years. Honestly, to me, living in a country for like 1 year is like a blink of an eye. It's like a very short term. 2 years is like okay-ish. 5 years is like what I consider to be significant time spent in the country. Yeah, five years and above. 1-2 years to me is honestly nothing more than a travel. Honestly, like right now, 1 year and 3-4 months. Turkey still feel more like a travel destination that more than a home to me. I take a long time to feel like a country. Oh, you see, in the morning I'm even losing my English. I take a long time to feel homely in a country. Usually I start feeling like a country is home about 3 years in. About 3 years in, I start feeling like a local. And then about 5 years in, I feel like it's home. Something like that. About 10 years in, I usually do not even consider leaving the country. But, well, external circumstances, things change all the time. So I keep moving on. And yes, I've spent 10 years in a single country before. There are two countries that I spent 10 years in before. And the rest of the countries I spent pretty much about 5 years in. Yeah, I'm that old. Huh? So for me, I've only spent more than 10 years in two countries, Singapore and China. The rest of the countries I spent like average of 5 years. Oh, okay, now the hair looks good. I just woke up, guys. On rainy days like this, right, I give myself extra sleep, Okay. So now we're back to the part where we're just waiting for my regulars to come on and then chit chat about anything and everything about life. If you're already watching, say hello. Let me know where you're from, where you're watching from. I wanna where you're from is a very hard question to answer, but where are you watching from, and how do you find my channel? How do you discover my channel? How do you find my channel has two meanings? Yeah, gotta be very very specific. How do you find my channel could mean, do you like my channel? And it could also mean, how do you discover my channel? So it's gotta be very specific. How do you discover my channel? Please let me know. Could get you guys talking. Oh, good morning, Wendy, watching from London. Good morning. And Wendy, you see, I'm at home today. Yeah, why? Because the weather is stormy weather today. I think stormy in London as well, because London weather and Turkey weather is very close together. So when it's stormy like this, it's still raining right away. I stay at home. Yeah, I would just stream from home. That's why yesterday you asked me this question. Yeah, yesterday you asked me like, why should the weather matter? Why should the weather be the first thing I look at when I wake up every morning? Yeah, this is why. If the weather is raining, storming, snowing like this, I pretty much don't go out. This will affect everything I do in one day, even what I eat, how I eat. And yeah, Wendy, welcome. We made it to Friday, and I just woke up. When I hear it's raining, I pretty much allow myself to sleep some extra more, so I still have this wake up-ish look. Yeah. Sao Kwan Tan, SK here. SK, what's SK? SK2? Watching from Singapore. Welcome. Sao Kwan meets SK. Okay, means your name. Okay. Hi, SK. Watching from Singapore. Good afternoon, Singapore. A friend recommended your channel. Watched from Korea last time, but lost track when you went to London. Oh, well, welcome back. I really love this. The biggest thing I'm getting from doing this live stream right now is all my old friends coming back. Is all my old friends from back in Korea rediscovering me, and really, really thankful. Kamsia. Thank you, and I hope you enjoy yourself. Right now, I live stream every day. Okay, at 10:30 a.m. Turkish time. Yes, I'm in Turkey. I've been in Turkey for 1 year and 3 months, coming to 1 year and 4 months. And this is a live stream every morning. I will bring you guys out there to a different location in Istanbul. I'm in Istanbul. Discover something small and beautiful about Istanbul, and then grab a kopi and then just la kopi chit chat about everything and everything in life. Yeah, this happens at 10:30 a.m. Turkish time. So do take note. Do help me by clicking a like button and joining me. Okay, SK, welcome back. Wendy, yes, we have a red alert for wind coming at 10 a.m. We were told to stay home if we can. Yeah, exactly. See, this is why the weather matters, no, Wendy. That's why the weather is pretty much, you know, when I wake up, there's a curtain behind my bed right there. Let me show you guys. There's a curtain behind my bed. The first thing I wake up, I pull the curtain and I look out. What weather is it today? Anyways, this is my humble bedroom. Quite a mess. My humble workstation. I don't know, some people argue that this is not much of a workstation. Elego Stream Deck. These are lousy joysticks, but the best I can get here in Turkey. Star Wars stuffs all over. Yeah, I'm a big Star Wars fan. My little fireplace actually is low on battery, so you can't really see the fire. If I change battery, you can see the fire very beautifully. And of course, my beautiful travel companion. She's sleeping. Yep, this is my humble apartment in the heart of Beşiktaş, Istanbul. And good morning, Astro Boy. Oh, 좋은 아침이에요. 불금입니다. Yeah, Astro Boy from Singapore. Astro Boy here is my doppelganger. I can't even say that he's my twin anymore. Astro Boy here is my doppelganger. Born in Singapore, worked in China, got the China expert license like I did, married Korean, like I did, and late 40s like I am, looking like a brother to his 2 daughters. Okay, so he doesn't age either. So this Astro Boy here, he is my doppelganger. No, he's not even my twin anymore. He's my doppelganger. How do I know how young he looks? Because I checked out his Instagram, I was shocked, man. You know, Astro Boy actually he posted like a photo a few days ago. I was shocked. It's a comparison photo. Okay, taken on the same street, 16 years apart. 16 years ago, he was carrying an infant. Oh, he was looking all like you know, those J-pop time, very long hair, my era, very long hair, you know, J-pop, Taiwan pop era kind of hairstyle, carrying an infant, his daughter. And then beside his 16 years later, he and the group and his 16-year-old or grown up daughter on the same street. And in the infant photo, he looks like father and daughter, yeah. And in the right hand side photo, he looks like a boyfriend to the daughter. I'm telling you 100%. He looks like boyfriend. So he can be out with his daughter, you know, and when people ask her, hey, who is this guy? If she says this is my father, they'll be shocked. Astro Boy look 100% like a boyfriend to his daughter in that photo. It's amazing. But I'm telling you guys, not all age. See, everybody is going around with this wrong idea. No, everybody think Asians don't age. No. People like Astro Boy and myself are the exception. Okay, as Asians age slower. That's true. But people like me and Astro Boy, we age even slower. Like even in Asian society, we are surprised. Okay, so you know, a lot of people look at me and say, nah, he's looking young only because he's Asian. No, everybody my age look like Ajoshi already. Okay, people my age don't look like this. Even in Asia, even in Korea. SK, we work from home on and off these days. COVID number is high. How's it over there? Oh, I don't know. I don't follow the COVID news. I'm only here in Turkey because right from the very beginning, Turkey has been normal. No lockdown, no nothing, no COVID scare. Nobody give a shit. No mandates, no restrictions, no this, no that, no none of that thing. It's normal everyday life here. But of course I got COVID here, and I recovered within a week. Of course, I'm still suffering the after effects. The after effects is quite bad. Okay, just to talk about my COVID after effects. Yeah. Hey, sorry, I'm messing my hair all day long. Why? Two reasons. Number one, I just woke up, so my hair's not quiet enough, it's not tame. Second reason is this: you may be looking at me, but I'm looking at a mirror here. So what do you want to do when you look in front of a mirror? But anyways, my two COVID after effects are this, Number one, I still don't have my taste and smell. It's been 1 month since I recovered. I still only have about 20% of my taste and smell. So when I go to the Korean restaurant and I order their spiciest chicken, it's so spicy. When I ordered, everybody told me no. And then the boss lady asked me, "Are you sure? This is crazy." I said, "I'm sure." I ate it and I actually felt nothing. Yeah, it's that bad. A loss of taste and smell. And secondly, because my immunity was in overdrive, because I recovered from COVID on my own immunity, I took no medicine or anything. So my immunity remained on overdrive, and now I'm allergic to almost everything. You see, all these allergy spots, all these spots, allergic rashes that have been developing over my body, pretty much every single week for no reason. I'm allergic to a lot of things. I'm even allergic to cats, but I avoid all these things. But ever since I recovered from COVID, I've been getting my allergic attacks for no reason. Even eating and taking antihistamine doesn't work that much either. Oh, it's getting kind of warm. I gotta go open the window. Sorry. Okay. Yeah, so, but I like it that life is normal here. See, the thing is, lockdown or not, in the end of the day, when it evolves, everybody's gonna get it. Every time it evolves, it spikes in every country, whether or not you have a lockdown, whether or not you live. See, that's why you don't. I honestly don't feel the effect of COVID here in Turkey at all. Not in the people around me. A lot of times I suspect the people around me, they have COVID, but after a while they recover, because they look like shit and they are running nose and everything. But nobody avoids them like a plague, We just take it as normal, like a normal cold, and then life goes on. And therefore, I don't feel any of the impact of COVID here in Turkey at all. Honestly, I honestly would love to write out the entire pandemic here in Turkey. I think Turkey is doing it correctly. I don't want to. In fact, lockdown was the reason why, primarily why I actually chose to come to Turkey. Where whole world was locked down, only this place was free. Yeah, it was why I chose to come here. Astro Boy, ha 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 ha. Astro Boy is an anti-aging legend. Well, Astro Boy, if you start an anti-aging YouTube channel, you're gonna be my top rival. I think top rival. Astro Boy is even 2 years older than me, and honestly, I think if you put us side by side, he looks a little bit younger than me. To be honest, not because of skin or anything, but he has this super boyish look. He's like, people say I have this boyish look. That this guy's boyish look is like high school boyish look. Okay, it's crazy. Astro Boy, I'm a fan of yours, Lay. Well, Astro Boy, I'm a fan of yours too. Okay, I'm a fan of all humanity as well. I'm definitely intrigued by you, Astro Boy, because I have not met another person in this world with as close a series of major life events that I have. I'm losing my English. I've never met anyone who has pretty much the same major life events that I had in the world, except you, Astro Boy. Yeah, it's crazy. Like I have good and bad angles, But Astro Boy, when I look at his photographs, it doesn't look like he has any bad angles. Like my best angle is this angle. I know my best angles. Okay, I've been Instagramming and YouTubing for so long. This is my best angle. Show you guys. Here. But if I tilt this angle a little bit, it becomes this. Look at that. What a big difference. This versus this versus this. I have very bad angles, guys. Astro Boy, prove that the world is small and big at the same time. Nah, the world is just small. There was one time, there was a short period of time when I was moving home from Korea to New York, right? And then I was flying between Korea and New York. My highest record was 10 flights a month between Korea and New York. 10 flights a month. And at that time, I felt how small the world is. I could just taxi across to the other side of the world within 20, like less than 24 hours, and then back, and then go, and back. And then I was taxiing like between New York and Seoul like this over the Antarctica so often I stopped getting jet lag at all anymore. Yeah. And I realized then, and I looked at the map so often, right? And I realized the world is very small. The world is so small, we need to go to Mars. Right now, I think we need to go to Mars. The Earth is so incredibly small. To me, the Earth feels like what, Earth feels like, right now, to me, Earth feels like how I felt about Japan when I went to Japan for the first time as a kid. Yeah. Like, to me, Japan was so big. It was like, whoa. It was like that was the world, But right now, boom, this is the world. So I don't know I don't know if that makes sense. I don't know. Today is my bad English day. I speak about 10 languages, but every day I have a bad language day. Certain days I can speak this better, certain days I can speak that better. And of course, English is my first language, and I can't speak any language better than English, by the way. But on certain days like today, I lose my English. Astro Boy, polyglot. SK, what are your routine now? You're one of those lucky ones who can retire early and enjoy life, while most of us are struggling with earning a living. So good. Yeah. I think that the most important thing is the choice, the career choice. I chose to go into this line. I chose to do what I do because I had a lifestyle like this in mind early. I knew I wanted to live like this, and I knew how to get there. But I think for most people, the problem is not that one day they're still trying to get to where I am. No, I'm just on a completely different path. For most people, I realized that right from the beginning, this was not their intended lifestyle. So life is, I think the world is a very fantastic place where people usually get what they want. Actually, you 99% of the time you actually always fulfill your dreams. The problem is most people do not control their dreams. So I see a lot of people, like, they start off studying and you just wanted to get a job, and then you go on the career path. Of course, like, knowingly or unknowingly, you're on that path, and then life fulfills it for you, and that path don't lead to this. That path just don't lead to this. So I think it's unfair to, if you have been on a certain other path, it's unfair to tell yourself right now that, oh, Limpeh is living a better life than me, and one day I want to get there. No, it's very unfair to tell yourself that because you're being unfair to yourself. Why? Because this was not your intention in the first place. This lifestyle was not your intention, and your life worked out perfectly. You worked hard, and your life worked out exactly how you wanted it to. You have to be fair to yourself. You did well. This was not your intention. The only reason I want to say this, I'm going to say this for everybody's benefit, is this: you are not getting my lifestyle only because you never intended for it in the first place. Okay, that's the only reason. Or you got to be fair to yourself, so that you stop envying other people, understand that you have put in hard work, and you realize your initial dream, which is not this. This was not what you wanted. A lot of people look at me and they think, oh, that's what I want, wow, my life sucks. But when they look back on their life, when they first started, this was not what they wanted. They wanted totally different things, and they are on the path of realizing those things, and therefore it becomes very unfair to look at other people's life and say, oh, my life sucks, his life is better. No, there's no such thing as a good or better life or a lousier life. It's only different paths in life. But honestly, I've got to be fair about one thing, is this: some societies make it that you cannot see the paths in life. Some societies make it that you only see one way in life. I can name a few countries, but it will be very unfair, so I'm not going to do it. There's some countries, there's some societies that are like this, where they literally blind you to other possibilities in life. And people from that kind of structure, I mean, maybe, it may be a little unfair that you were not given the opportunity to choose, to know about and to choose other paths that leads to maybe my life. You'll be surprised. Quite a few people quite a few of my regular viewers here, they live my lifestyle. I have quite a few freedom lifestylers on my live stream as well. Chi from somewhere in Europe, he's always traveling all over Europe. Chi, and he's also a fellow trader. A few others. And MC from Singapore, he's also a trader. Okay, most of the freedom lifestylers that I know on my live stream, they're all traders like me. So if you wanted this lifestyle in the first place, then you should have chosen that career and that education in the first place. Yes, education. Nobody just becomes a trader. It's a profession. We all go through 8 years of college, not for nothing. Astro Boy, knowing what you want early is very rare and lucky. Oh, yeah, it's actually Astro Boy. I think the thing is, I think the main problem is, like I just mentioned, that certain societies or even certain families, they don't allow you to see other possibilities in life, and therefore you only see pretty much a single track in life, and you never had a choice. For those people, I can't say it's a soaring thing. I see that a lot in certain countries. I don't want to name them. And I would say that if you're on that road, okay, the thing is, there is a Chinese saying, called 隔行如隔山, meaning a change of profession is as hard as trying to go to the other side of the mountain. Yeah. So if you're already on a certain path and you look at people like me and say, oh, I want to do what he do, actually it's very hard. It's very hard for you to change totally. Because why? Because we are able to do what we do and live this lifestyle pretty much because of everything that was accumulated all the way from choice of education, all the way to training, all the way to the kind of exposure, the kind of work you've been doing, all the way to an accumulation of over 20 years of experience in that field of work. You cannot just go from being an engineer or a mechanic and then boom, suddenly you want this. It just cannot work that way. If life can work that way, of course, that would be amazing, yeah. But because of the amount of accumulation that you really need, But then again, I got to qualify this. Okay, I got to qualify this. You don't exactly have to do the job that I do to live this life, to live this lifestyle. Of course, there are cheap and easy ways to do this lifestyle, but it takes giving up too much. Most people, you cannot walk away from your family. You cannot walk away from your, basically your family. Because if you want to do this lifestyle cheap, then you cannot afford to have a family. Yeah. I see a lot of people, especially in my area here in Beşiktaş, Istanbul. I know a lot of foreigners, very young, 20-plus-year-old foreigners, who has been roaming around the world for about 10 years. I know this Scottish guy here. He's about 28, 29, and 28. And he has been roaming around the world for 10 solid years. Yeah, exactly my lifestyle for 10 solid years. Yeah. And he never needed to be a trader. He wasn't any specific profession, but he's just doing some random stuff online, maybe, I don't know what he does. Yeah. So, but he has no family, he's no girlfriend, single and alone. Yeah. So it's not easy. And SK, what is your routine now? Actually, I'm still struggling, SK. That's a very good question. Actually, yes. Last night, when I was talking to my wife, right, this was the problem I raised up to my wife, no. But ever since I moved here to this area of Istanbul, the Beşiktaş area of Istanbul, which is the university area, the Hongdae area of Istanbul, yeah. Ever since I moved here 2 months ago, almost 3 months ago, I've not been able to find a very good life rhythm or routine. Like I had a really strong routine for one whole year last year in the Nişantaşı area of Istanbul. Yeah, I was living in the Nişantaşı area, which is the glam, that luxury and glam, you know, the kind of movie stars, they go there for shopping, that kind of area. I lived there for one whole year, okay, in a hotel residence suite, and I had a very strong routine. I like my routine there much better than here. I'm still trying to find a good routine. I'm still trying to settle down here. I moved here for only about 2 plus 3 months, and honestly, I'm still struggling. I'm still struggling to settle down. I'm still struggling to establish a good routine. And if you ask me, the only thing remotely resembling a routine for me right now in this area of Istanbul is really just this. 10:30 a.m. I do a live stream. 4 p.m. I get ready for US market. 5 p.m. I stay in front of the computer, look at the US market, play games, watch Korean drama all the way to midnight. I sleep, next morning, flush and repeat. This is as close to a routine that I have right now. Yeah, but weekends is different. The weekend, why? Because if you've been following me on my Instagram, you know, I discovered a Korean restaurant very close to my home here, and the boss grandmother is a very old grandmother, almost 70 years old, here alone in Istanbul, establishing a business over the past 2.5 years alone in Istanbul. Almost 70 years old, learning English, learning Turkish language. If you guys, none of you young people have the bloody cheek to tell me you can't do this, you know, really. If a 70-year-old grandmother is doing it alone here in Istanbul. But anyways, so with this grandmother, we've been trying to like establish a little Korean community thing here in Istanbul, because there's no real solid Korean community or Chinese community here, you know. So we're trying to do something, and so every Sunday night we're doing this chimek, chicken and beer session. Sometimes I bring sake even, but there's no soju here. So there is soju, but it's hard to get. It's very far away. Yeah. Okay, to me, far away means anything more than 10 minutes walk from my home is far away. Okay. Astro Boy, knowing what you want early is very rare. Oh, Dae Xuan Xiong. Hello, hi, welcome. Wow, a lot of new people to my live stream. If you're new to my live stream, welcome. This is a live stream where every morning here in Istanbul, yes, I mean Istanbul, for the past 1 year and 3 months, where I take you guys out to discover something about Istanbul, grab a kopi, la kopi, and talk about anything and everything about life. Right? It's just a chit-chat program. It happens every day, 10:30 a.m. Turkish time. And today is it's a good weather, good temperature here in Turkey today, 10 degrees Celsius, but a stormy weather. That's why I'm streaming from home, not showing you guys anything about Turkey, you know, because look at that. It's still raining. Last night was like kind of thing, you know. I like this blinder so much. Yeah. Anyways, this is the Beşiktaş area of Istanbul. Oh. Pretty much the whole Istanbul looks like this. The whole of Istanbul looks like Chutek Mahal of Korea. If you guys know Korea well, you know what Chutek Mahal is. Yeah, this is like Chutek Mahal. And yeah, so if you enjoy my live stream, do help me by clicking the like button and joining me every morning, 10:30 a.m. Turkish time, where sometimes I bring you guys out to discover something. Sometimes we go to the Bosphorus Strait. Sometimes we just basically I try to show you guys the kind of things that if you come here to Istanbul for travel, you most likely miss those things. Like really everyday life things. The cats, the dogs, the neighborhoods, you know. Yeah. So if you enjoy this, do help me by clicking a like button. And if you would like to buy me my coffee of the day, of course today, actually this is not free, no. At home I make my own coffee, right? But I actually order a delivery for this coffee because this cafe makes such good double shot Americano that I can no longer drink my instant coffee. So I actually ordered delivery and added 5 lira. So this coffee is actually 32 lira, which is very expensive in Turkey right now. More expensive than a full lunch meal. So If you'd like to buy me a coffee of the day, you can go to the comment section, hit the S button, and drop me a tip. Even $1 these days is very big in Turkey, right? Tishan Xiong, is Istanbul, Turkey worth traveling, especially during COVID now that testing is not required? Yeah, I've been living here in Istanbul for 1 year and 3 months only because it's normal life here in Istanbul, regardless of the COVID. You don't feel any COVID here, but you will get COVID. I guarantee you. All my friends who have been to Istanbul over the past 1 year got COVID. I got COVID as well, but I recover. You know, it's simple thing. 1 week, boom, it's done. Okay, but the thing is, it's 100% free life here. Yeah, 100% normal life, and it's the only reason why. Pretty much, I keep playing with my hair because I just woke up. My hair is not correct. Anyway, and you guys are looking at me. I'm looking at a mirror. Yeah, that's why. Anyways, so it's normal life here in Istanbul. I've been making videos about why Turkey, Istanbul is the best place to visit during the pandemic. You know, no restrictions, no mask restrictions, no vaccine restrictions, no lockdowns, no curfews, nothing. It's normal life here. That's why I'm here. I probably want to stay here and ride out the whole pandemic, to be honest. Astro Boy, are you talking about Dila Philip, the guy that's traveling? Who Dila Philip? I don't know. He comes to my live stream. I was talking about people who my regular viewers. I don't know if Dila Philip is my regular viewer. I never heard the name before. Dishan Xiong, fellow Singaporean here. Welcome Singaporean. I have a lot of viewers from Singapore. Maybe because of the name of my channel. Yeah. Still good branding. Even though I know nothing about Singapore. I don't even know who the president is anymore. I don't even know who the prime minister is anymore after being away for about 25 years. Astro Boy, a Scottish guy you met was... Oh, I don't know. I never asked for his name. You know, there's a Chinese saying, 相逢何必曾相识. When you're between traveling mates, we don't even ask each other's names. It's just, we're just people who are passing by. Just sharing a little bit, sharing a 5-minute life experience and then moving on. So why bother asking about names and all this stuff, right? The Dishan Xiong, because I watched your Korean videos last time. Oh, welcome. Oh, and I really appreciate that through this live stream, people from all my past videos are rediscovering about me again. So do join me every day, 10:30 a.m. Turkish time, okay? I stream pretty much every day. Unless I wake up and I really don't feel like doing it, then I won't. But this is episode 116. So this is a fairly new thing that I'm doing, for past 116 days. Not even a year yet, yeah? So this is actually a really new live stream, and I hope to keep it going every single day. And I hope to see episode 1000. Yeah, one day. And really, if you guys would like to help me out to keep this as close to zero cost as possible, you can do so by going to the comments channel and just clicking on the S button to drop me a tip. Even $1 is big here in Turkey these days, okay? But of course, $1 will not cover today's coffee. This coffee today is 32 lira. So this coffee today is what? $2.50 or US dollars, or $3.50 Singapore dollars. So $1 will not cover today's coffee. Yeah, $3.50 for a cup of coffee. Okay, so you guys know how little you guys are paying for coffee in Singapore. Because Singapore coffee is pretty much the cheapest I see around the world. Singapore's food is ridiculously cheap. Yeah. You don't feel it until one day you leave Singapore, because I like randomly and from time to time I see my friends in Singapore post on their Facebook saying that, oh, chicken rice went from what, $3.25 to $3.50, and I'm making a big hoo-ha of it. Come on, man. If you live in anywhere that's not Singapore, $3.50, you do lunch for $3.50, dream on, man. Doesn't happen. In New York, even if you eat like on the street side, like a chicken over rice on the street side, there's at least $7 right now, maybe 8 by now. Well, Di Xuan Xiong, Malaysia what? But guys, because I talk so much about everything, about every point, and by the time I come back to your comment, it may be a few minutes later. So I cannot connect some of your comments to what I was saying. Yeah. So appreciate if you can be more complete in your sentences so that I can connect. Like things like ha ha ha, low, yes, I agree. Yeah, I pretty much never know what you're agreeing to. In Malaysia it's cheap also. Okay. So other than Singapore, Malaysia, which is pretty much okay. Like people don't like to hear this, but to me, Singapore and Malaysia is one system. Okay, just pretty much one thing. It's just me, just me. Okay, if you guys want to watch my live stream, you have to accept that a lot of my opinions are just my own. I'm not trying to teach you what to do. I'm not trying to tell you what to do. I'm not trying to enforce my own views on you. Okay, just take it as it is. Just listen. And then forget about it. Okay. Yeah, I'm not challenging your ego. I'm not challenging your values. I'm not challenging your beliefs because I don't even know who you are. Okay. Oh, on rainy days like this, I really love to just stay at home, get cozy like this, get food delivery, watch a movie, and then play game. Oh, to me that's the life. If you ask me, for some people, right, the life when you talk about, oh, this is the life. For some people, it's like sitting by the beach side or sitting in a beach house overlooking a cliff, that kind of thing. To me, my dream life, right, is just this, just at home, playing game, getting cozy, away from other people, my own space. This is what I feel is like. That's my happiness in life. Di Xiong, can you get around Turkey in English? Oh, this is a very good question. Very hard. I'm gonna tell you the truth. Except if you do the touristy places, okay, then if you do the touristy places, then pretty much they all speak English. But if you want to go into the real neighborhoods, you're backpacking, right? Almost nobody speaks English. Nobody can form complete sentences in English. Okay, very few, unless you're talking to very young people who right now are English educated. Okay, anyone who are not super young or in college right now, they pretty much don't speak any English. So, but the good news is this: you can get by with very simple Turkish. I can get by, and I only spent like 1 month going through some simple Turkish phrases and conversation, like those kind of key conversation things. Once you memorize all that, things like can I order this? Can I have the bill, please? How much is this? How much is that? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. Those kind of things. Once you get that down, you're pretty much okay. It's very simple. Actually, this applies not only in Turkey but in every country. If you just get down very simple everyday life phrases, you can get by, no problem. But some people don't even bother to put in that 1 day effort it takes only 1 day to memorize all these things. Okay, some people don't even put in that 1 day effort. Then too bad. Wendy, I'm cozy in bed recovering from my booster while the storm builds are outside. Yeah, it's stormy right now, right? It's the same across from UK all the way here to Istanbul. Same weather system. But take care. Yeah, I've heard a lot of terrible stories about people recovering from boosters. It makes me wonder, how is it different from just recovering from COVID anyway? So, I don't know. Because I recovered from COVID pretty much. I got over the worst of COVID and really got onto full recovery within like 4 days. And some people take weeks to recover from a booster. So, I know, like, okay, I'm not talking science here, okay? I'm just talking like normal kopitiam logic, yeah. For those of you who don't know what kopitiam is, I have a lot of Singaporeans on, that's why I'm using a lot of Singaporean slangs. But kopitiam means like cafe talk, everyday talk, slangs are slangs. That my logic is, then why not just get COVID and get well in 4 days rather than get a booster and get well in 7 days or 12 or 14 days? I don't know. It's just, I'm not against vaccines. I'm fully vaccinated, okay? I'm just talking about some normal, uneducated, and pretty much misinformed daily logic, okay? Di Xuan Xiong, curious, what about Arabic in Turkey? Oh, Turkish people don't speak Arabic. You know how I discovered this? Because the Korean restaurant that I go to almost every day these days, yeah, there was two Elbasing, One Elbasing is from Iran, so she speaks Arabic, and one Elbasing is Turkish, and the Turkish Elbasing, both are college students, yeah. The Turkish Elbasing learns Arabic from the Iranian girl, yeah. So that shows me that Turkish people don't really know Arabic beyond the simple Arabic needed. They do learn a bit of Arabic because of the Islamic thing. If you're Islamic, you need to learn certain Arabic. But beyond that, they pretty much don't speak any Arabic. Yeah, which makes me suspect that beyond Assalamualaikum, you can't really get around in daily life. Assalamualaikum is used very often here. But I suspect beyond that, they don't do any Arabic, to be honest. I don't know. I may be wrong because I don't speak Arabic, so I don't know. And I'm not deep enough to know into the daily societies to know their struggles with those languages, yeah? So I cannot say I don't know, okay? I've been here long enough. I've seen certain things which I can only share what I've seen, but beyond that, I really don't know. What I know about this Turkish people's relationship with Arabic language is only from these two Elbasing. Yeah, okay. Beyond that, I don't know. Di Xuan Xiong. Interesting. I thought Arabic influences will be strong because of Islam. I'm gonna share one thing. If you have been watching my live streams, especially my live stream back in Nishan Tashi, you will see that there's not even a very strong Islamic influence here. Turkish young people, college students, they are tattooed by college young students. New Turkish people look is like this right now. Generally, I have shared this with some Turkish people there, and they all agree. Okay, by 16-year-old, you have your first tattoo. By 15-year-old, you have your first tattoo. By 16-year-old, your whole arm will be tattooed. By 18 years old, you start smoking. Okay, and then by college, you have piercings all over and tattoos all over, and then with multiple color hair. That all, especially the piercing all over nose and everything, is very signature of today's new generation Turkish people. And now you tell me how much Islamic influence that is. They every weekend night they hang out and drink like crazy, alcohol. They smoke everywhere. And then tell me what Islamic influence. So you see, so you think Arabic influence will be strong because of Islam, but the problem is Islam influence is not even strong here at all. Very few people identify. At least in my areas of Istanbul, very few people identify with Islam. I know, like in the more country regions or the more regional places here in Turkey, they do, but at least not in Istanbul. You don't see it here at all. Istanbul is 100. I actually asked the Turkish people this question because I'm very curious about Turkish people also. So I asked my Turkish friends here in Istanbul, do you identify more of the Middle East, more with Middle East culture or European culture? They all tell me, regardless of age, they all tell me that here in Istanbul we're European culture, especially here in the Europe side of Istanbul. The buildings are European style. The dressing is European style. You very, very, very rarely see ladies in hijab. Very rare. You walk down Nişantaşı area and Beşiktaş area, Istanbul, it feels like certain parts of UK. Or Spain. Yeah, closer to Spain. Actually, it feels closer to Spain. Closer to Spain. Closer to Barcelona feeling. Yeah, actually. Yep. So to me, Istanbul is very European, less the English. Well, of course, most Europe countries, they don't do English either. Yeah. Like you go to Spain with English, you die. No English, no English. You go to Paris, no English, no English. Nobody does any English outside UK. here in Europe. Di Xuan Xiong. Oh, this camera, this 6-year-old phone is really losing focus all the time. I have to keep tapping on the screen to focus this camera. Di Xuan Xiong. Oh, haha. Then next time must go Central Asia to few more Arabic influences. I don't know which country, because I don't have a lot of experience in Middle East, gotta be honest with you. So I don't know from which point you start to, oh, excuse me. But a lot of Turkish people will say that you start to feel the Arabic and Islamic influence pretty much from starting from the western part of eastern part of Turkey. The eastern part of Turkey, Turkey looks like this, like a sausage. You cut it into half. This half here on the east, people tell me, I've never been there. Okay, so I don't know. I'm just saying what people tell me. People tell me those people in the eastern part of Turkey, they are very, very religious. So I cannot go there. I cannot survive in very religious places because I'm too brutally honest about everything I say. Okay, just gotta put it that way. I cannot go to places where people are easily offended by my opinions. Yeah. About religion, about politics, about how things are, about humanity. I cannot go to places where people have very strong feelings about these issues. Why? Because I'm a YouTuber and I'm a live streamer even right now. Yeah. So everything I throw out, has consequences. I suffered the consequences before. So not fun. Yeah. So I try to stay away from places that are very nationalistic, have very strong religious opinions, that kind of thing. Yeah. Oh, but very interesting chit chat so far. Yeah. From all my rediscovered fans from before. Really love today's chit chat. And why am I still messing with my hair? Because I'm looking at myself in the mirror right here. Honestly, in reality, right now I'm just talking to myself. I'm not talking to nobody. You guys hear me, but I don't hear you guys. You guys see me, but I'm seeing myself. So pretty much I'm talking to myself. Past 1 hour. Oh, so what else you want me to do? Mess with my clothes, mess with my hair. But anyways, welcome. I really appreciate all of you here. And if you're new to my live stream, this is a live stream where every morning here in Istanbul, yes, I'm here in Istanbul, been here for 1 year and 3 months. This is a live stream where every morning I bring you guys to a different location or cafe here in Istanbul, discover little some things about Istanbul, grab a coffee and a chit chat about anything and everything in life. It happens every day, 10:30 a.m. Turkish time. Okay. If you enjoy my live stream, remember to help me by clicking the like button. The like button helps a lot and it takes no effort to just tap on the screen while you're listening. And if you would love to buy me my coffee of the day, just go to the comment section and then click on the little S button to drop me a tip. Right? Appreciate all your attention and really do help me by subscribing and joining me every morning, 10:30 a.m. Turkish time. By episode 1000, you guys can probably recite this introduction that I give several times an hour. To Xian Xiong, Turkish coffee is so bitter. Oh yeah. To me, I like bitter coffee. I like bitter stuff. But my only problem with Turkish coffee is just this. It's tiny. It's so tiny that in the end, right, I do something Turkish people don't do with the Turkish coffee. Can you guess what? When I drink Turkish coffee, I do something that shocks Turkish people. Can you guess what? Okay, that's the question of the day. Whenever I drink Turkish coffee, very small cup, so small, smaller than an espresso cup, Whenever I drink Turkish coffee, I do something that shocks Turkish people. What is it? Dishen Xiong, I love Turkish. Oh yeah. Turkish food is very, very close to Asian food. In fact, in Turkey there's chai peng. Yeah. It's the regular rice with all kinds of dish and meat you just choose, It's very Asian style actually. Wendy, you add water. Nope. Because the cup is so small, you can't add nothing. Dishan Xiao, you made long black with no, that's adding water. No. Okay, I'm gonna you guys can never guess, so I'm gonna give you the answer. The answer is this. If you have ever drunk Turkish coffee, you know that the thing about that what makes Turkish coffee is that there's a layer of coffee powder below. You know, guys noticed it? After you finish drinking, you see a thick layer of coffee powder below. Yes? Yes? You guys know about that? You guys know that after you drink Turkish coffee, there's a thick layer of coffee powder? Okay, I drink that coffee powder. I finish the whole thing and I give the cup back empty. And Turkish people are like, what? no, what do you do? That kind of thing. They are very shocked because to me, like the coffee is so tiny that by the time I finish it, I'm still not done, And then so I just drink the whole thing. And then I cough like crazy and drink water. I always cough like crazy when I drink Turkish coffee like that because the powder irritates your throat, right? And then I drink and then I cough like crazy. Fami, welcome back. I haven't seen you in quite a few days. Fami. Hi, I watch you eating spicy ramen in Korea. Oh, my spicy ramen challenge. Yeah, you see this photo here? This photo was taken with my wife when I was taking the spicy ramen video. This was taken in that restaurant. This photo. Whenever I see this photo, I remember the spicy ramen. You see, I'm wearing the same thing. If you can see clearly, it's crazy spicy. Okay, it's crazy spicy. Oh, you mean the cup ramen? I made another video comparing the cup ramen. The cup ramens are not spicy at all. Yeah, to me. The Prutak Pokemon to me is nah, it's nothing. It's not spicy at all. Prutak Pokemon, no, not spicy at all. Wow, it's so interesting. We managed to keep talking for 1 hour so far. Have you ever, Fami, have you ever had spicy ramen? Actually, okay, here's a little educational thing. Okay, now, Fami just said, I watched you eat spicy ramen in Korea. R-A-M-E-N. Okay, ramen is not the right word. Ramen is Japanese. And in Japan, ramen refers to only... Okay, that's ramen. Anything outside of that in Japan is not even called ramen. Okay. And therefore, in Korea, it's not ramen, it's ramyeon. Ramyeon. Okay, ramyeon is different. Ramyeon is ramen. Ramen is ramen. Yeah. Ramen is Japanese, and ramen is a certain kind of noodle in Japan. And it's not the kind of noodle we're talking about in Korea. The Korean ramyeon is ramen. Ramen is ramen. Yeah. It's actually different. So many people call Korean ramen. To me, it's completely wrong. It's like calling chicken. It's like calling a mutton pork or calling pork a mutton. Is that different to me? Is that different to me? The ramen, udon. They are all three very distinctively different things. There's udon in Korea as well. And naengmyeon, ramyeon, all different things. Naengmyeon, ramyeon, all different kinds of noodles. The noodle itself is different as well. The naengmyeon noodle and the ramyeon noodle of Korea is different from the ramen noodle and the udon noodle of Japan. So it's completely different thing. So it's unfair to write R-A-M-E-N for Korean ramyeon. So Korean ramyeon is R-A-M-Y-E-O-N-G. Okay, it's a little bit longer, but to be very accurate, to be very impressive in front of your friends when you talk about things like this, you can use these terms. Very accurate terms. Di Xian Xiong, does everything translate as not la mian, ramyeon, not mian. La mian is you mean does everything translate as la mian as in Chinese? Yes, in Chinese, yes. Ramen and ramyeon all translates into Chinese as la mian. That's correct. But they have evolved into their own thing. Just like jjajangmyeon. Jjajangmyeon is Chinese, jjajangmyeon. But Chinese jjajangmyeon is different from jjajangmyeon in Korea right now. Even the taste is completely different. Jjajangmyeon in Beijing is saltish, but jjajangmyeon of Korea is sweet. Okay, so even though the name is the same as the Chinese names, but the thing has evolved into its own thing by now. Di Xian Xiong, and Chinese have their own, Chinese have all kinds of la mian, Like when I was still living in China, I lived about 10 years in China, yeah. Like every other day, go to the Lanzhou la mian, and then, ordering Lanzhou la mian is very tricky, Ordering Lanzhou la mian is as hard as ordering coffee in Singapore. Yeah, ordering coffee in Singapore is damn bloody tricky, right? So a lot of foreigners, like when they go to Singapore, the first thing they learn is how to order coffee. Yeah. Now, ordering Lanzhou la mian in China is as complex. Why? Because you have to lightning. You have to specify the weight of the noodle. 几两, you want 2两, 3两, and you have to tell them you want 细, 粗, 扁, what kind of noodle you want them to pull into. So it's very technical, very technical, not easy to order ramen. But of course, all of these noodles came from China. Okay, let's be very honest. Even spaghetti came from China, right? All these ways of making wheat into all kinds of fancy shapes for eating came from China. A lot of Korean and Japanese culture came from China. Okay, we've got to be very honest to the history. Yeah, even though Korean, Chinese, China, Korea, and Japan tries to isolate their cultures from each other and to differentiate their cultures from each other, ultimately you go back about 1,500 years ago, the whole region looks like the same culture, and according to my research, speaks very similar languages as well. Yeah, back then, about 1,500 years ago, during the Tang Dynasty, the languages spoken by these three countries are not as different as it is today. Yeah, and of course, back in Tang Dynasty, they don't speak Mandarin either. Okay, it's a different China back then with a different language, everything is different. It's not China as you know it today. It's not the Chinese language. Everybody say Chinese language 5,000 years and a bolok. I'm sorry. The Mandarin you speak today is not 5,000 years old. It's very new. Astro Boy. But typically, Lanzhou la mian is sold by Xinjiang. Yeah, people very, very handsome, very pretty. Yeah, by Xinjiang. Lanzhou is in Xinjiang. Lanzhou is the place they come from. And of course, Lanzhou is where some of these controversies regarding, that thing that I wouldn't mention on the channel. And it's one of those places that those things happen. Yeah. Di Xian Xiong. English very different too. There's Old English and Middle English. Yeah, exactly. If you listen to Old English, you won't understand because Old English is the language of the original Anglo people, not even the Anglo-Saxon people, because Anglo-Saxon is actually a much later on merge of two different cultures. The English culture, the Anglo culture, the English culture, before the Anglo-Saxon culture, that was where English came from, primarily. Yeah, and of course with a lot of Latin, thousands of years of Roman Latin. So, and Roman Latin is different from Latin today. Well, of course, nobody speaks Latin today. Yeah. Good morning, Kim Teo. Welcome. Wow, today everybody's from Singapore today except Wendy. Welcome to a stormy weather here in Istanbul today. Look at, when you see me at home, it must be raining like this. If it's just cloudy, I'll be out there. You know, cloudy is my favorite weather, but it's been storming all night, man. It's like that kind of storming, okay. That's why today I'm streaming from home, and I love to stream from home because why? Because I can make noise, and I know I'm not disturbing other people. Maybe disturbing my neighbors, I'm not too sure. And I can do whatever I like. Yeah. And welcome. It's Friday. 불금입니다. 드디어 일주일 아주 지친 일주일 끝에 드디어 금요일이 됐어요. 오늘은 불금 잘 보내시고요. 여러분들. Kim Teo, Tang Dynasty speaks something similar to Hokkien. That's what I keep hearing. Yeah. Okay, but in those 10 years in China, I did very deep research into Chinese culture and history. Yeah, very deep, and I travel to places just to find out certain things. You know, and yes, Tang Dynasty speaks something like Hokkien, but the Hokkien it is the predecessor, predecessor language of modern Hokkien, which means it sounds completely different from the Hokkien today. So it's not even fair to say that Tang Dynasty they speak Hokkien, but you can find certain clues because at that point, you will find a lot of similarities in vocabulary between Korean language, Japanese language, and Hokkien, not Chinese, so not Mandarin Chinese, but Hokkien Chinese. Because a lot, like I said, during that period, about 1,500 years ago, that whole region, China, Korea, and Japan, they speak a very similar language that today we don't know anymore. Okay, why do I know they speak a similar language? Because back then there was no language school, but there was a lot of Japanese and Koreans in the courts of Tang Dynasty, a lot of Korean and Japanese scholars in China, and they had no problem with the language. Why is that so? Without having to spend years studying the language. And also the second clue is so many vocabulary words in Korean and Japanese language is actually very similar to Hokkien of today. Like Hokkien, what's the book? Book for Hokkien is check, tak check. And in Korea, it's check as well. It's still check, you know, check 읽고. 나 이거 책이야, 책. And in fact, during that time, you can still see a lot of clues that during that time there's a unity, pretty much a unity of language. I wouldn't say that they speak exactly the same language, but it must be close enough that they can understand each other without having to attend some sort of language school. Which means, I suspect during that time, 1,500 years ago, China, Japan, and Korea, the differences in language in these three countries is probably the difference between Spanish and Portuguese. That level of closeness. And if you look at the ancient history of Japan and Korea, you will see a lot of Chinese influence. Okay, I'm quoting scholar. Okay, I can say this because this is actually real scholar research right now, and it's out there. It's real research. It's not by me. Okay, it's not my own opinion. That pretty much the first emperor of Japan, Jinmu, was Chinese. Jinmu was a Chinese guy called Shifu, which went to search for the Penglai mountain, which is Mount Fuji, from the Qin dynasty, Qin Cao, the first dynasty of China. So this guy, Shifu, promised to find the elixir of life, of immortality for the first emperor of China, the Qin emperor. And he said, there's an island off to the east of China where there is a mountain called Penglai. And on top of Penglai mountain, there is a elixir of life. So Shifu made a few trips to that island, which is Japan. Okay, there's no other island to the east of China that matches that description. So he actually went three trips to Japan. Okay, the first two trips he went, he found the mountain and everything. And the final trip, he asked for 3,000 virgin boys and girls. And he took the 3,000 virgin boys and girls and an army of archers over to Japan and started to conquer everything along the coastline. And if you compare this story, and he never came back, he never returned to China, he never returned to Qin dynasty China. and therefore he's kind of like a con man. Okay? He conned the Qing emperor into giving him an army and a population to start his own country in Japan. So he went over to Japan, and if you look at the early scriptures of ancient Japan, there's a book on this early stories of Jinmu. You find that Jinmu actually started conquering Japan from the starting from the western coast of Japan all the way up to towards the Fuji mountain. He had an army, and the whole thing, including his portrait, is exactly what Shifu is. And today's Japanese ancient historians and scholars, they are agreeing that Jinmu Emperor, which is the first emperor of Japan, is Shifu, which pretty much means that Japan, and at least the imperial family, is descendant of Chinese and Korean. Because why? Because the last emperor of Japan already admitted that somewhere along the line, the queens were Koreans. So, but the men remained the same line. So eventually, right now, the emperors of Japan from then onwards are actually Korean Chinese mix. Yeah, and this is actually agreed. This is scholarly. This is a proper research paper. Okay, this is not from me. Okay, very interesting. Astro Boy, and therefore, it's not far-fetched to see that both Korea and Japan was pretty much kick-started by Chinese culture, right? And therefore continue to share in many ways the cultures and languages and stuff. And therefore, at that point of time, they probably spoke a very similar language, which allows them to interact with each other so smoothly and work in each other's countries. Yeah. And these are all history. This is not from me. You guys can do this. You guys can research and you'll come to the same conclusion. It's not my conclusion, okay? Kim Teo, yeah. So when you sing Tang poems in Hokkien, it sounds beautiful. Astro Boy, if you have changed, go and attend Kun Chi. Yeah. I think I don't think I've seen Kun Chi. I've seen the Suzhou version. Suzhou, when I was in Suzhou and Hangzhou, I saw I forgot what they call it though. Long time ago. Dishan Xiong. Vietnam was influenced by China too. During the Three Kingdom era. That was even earlier than Tang Dynasty. It's 2,000 years ago, and 2,000 years ago, when it was three kingdoms, Shu, Wu, and Wei. The Shu country covered part of Vietnam, today's Myanmar, Cambodia, that area. Yeah. The border is not very clear, but according to the records at that time, that whole area was actually Shu. So that's why they speak very similar language and have very similar culture as well. Elma, hi Limpeh, hope you're well. Oh, Elma, good evening, Elma from America. Today is a stormy day here in Turkey, 10 degrees Celsius. That's why I'm streaming from home today. And today we're talking a lot about Far Eastern culture. Yeah, Chinese, Korean, and Japanese culture. Done very deep research in all three countries, being physically there. I'm not just an internet researcher. So physically there in all three countries for a significant number of years. And these are some of my findings. Astro Boy, Shenzhen has vibrant cultural calendar. Edition Xiong, Vietnam, Guangzhou Museum has a very big Nanyue King Mausoleum. The thing is, what you call Chinese people is a very complex amalgamation of many different cultures. In fact, right now, if you look at China, you can roughly split China into North and South China. Okay. And people you call Chinese in the North and people you call Chinese in the South share different gene pools. Okay. Yeah. People you call Chinese in the South, the gene pool came from the South, the Micronesian gene pool. And people from the North you call Chinese, the gene pool came from the North. Okay, so Northern Chinese and Southern Chinese looks completely different, and yet they're all called Chinese, and yet they're all called Han Chinese. I'm sorry, China is a very complex immigration of so complex mix of culture and genes, yeah, over the past 3,000 years. That it's impossible to say this guy is Chinese or that guy is Chinese, except that they hold a China passport. That's all, you know. And that they all speak like one common tongue right now, right? But genetically, they are from very different places. In fact, you know, like people from the northern part of China today, in fact, a lot of my friends from Beijing, their hukou says Han Chinese, but their descendants, they are Manchurian descendants, mostly. Manchurian descendants, Mongol descendants. And honestly, if you want to go back even earlier, what you call Chinese culture today, most things that you identify as Chinese culture today, they're not even Chinese. They are Manchurian and Mongol. Two of the most significant things that most people think is Chinese, yeah? Number one, Cheongsam. Cheongsam is not Chinese, you know. Cheongsam is not even traditional, right? A lot of people think Cheongsam, the very slim, high cut dress, that people say is traditional Chinese dress. I'm sorry, it's neither Chinese nor traditional. Why? Number one, Cheongsam was invented only in the 30s in Shanghai. The first Cheongsam came about in Shanghai in the 1930s. So it's not even traditional. It's very young. It's a 70-year-old modern invention. Second, and it was not even invented from Chinese clothing. It was invented from Manchurian clothing, what I call qi pao. What is qi pao? Qi ren yi pao, which is qi ren means flag men. Flag men are Manchurians. Manchurians call themselves flag men. They are all under different flags, yeah. So the original qi pao is very big, very wide, but in the same fashion, very wide, very long. And then in the 1930s of Shanghai, this very creative person took this idea and then shrink it, like put it into cryogenic chamber and shrink it to the exact body shape of a female body, and then you get today's qi pao or cheongsam, which means number one, it's not even Chinese. Number two, it's not even traditional, right? So let's understand this. Cheongsam is nothing traditional Chinese. It's not Chinese. It's not traditional. And guess what is the second thing that everybody thinks is Chinese that is not actually Chinese? The hot pot. Everybody thinks hot pot is Chinese, right? No, hot pot is Mongolian. Hot pot was brought into China during the Yuan dynasty by Kublai Khan. Kublai Khan took over the whole of China and introduced all this Mongolian cultures and food, which persists to this day. Most of the snacks you find in Beijing today are either Muslim or Mongolian. Very few so-called real Chinese snacks in Beijing, you know. Most of Beijing food culture is either Muslim or Mongolian. Yeah. So everybody talk about China or Chinese like they know what they're talking about, right? Oh, this guy is Chinese. Oh, that food is Chinese. Like that clothes is Chinese. The kind of clothing is Chinese. They say that like they know what they're talking about, but they really don't. Most of the things these people say is Chinese are not even Chinese in the first place. Yeah. Chinese is a very hard definition. Today's Chinese government like define Chinese as Han Chinese, but even Han Chinese is hard to define. Han Chinese has a very diverse gene pool. The original Han Chinese, very hard to find. Astro Boy, a rough analogy is like Europe. German, French, Italian. If not for Qin, China would be like Europe. Yeah, exactly. If not for the first emperor of China, China would be pretty much like Europe. Many different countries, actually, many different cultures, many different languages, cultures, you know, many. It's not just like one thing, you know. And good morning, Leanna from London. Raining in London right now, right? Storming, same thing here in Istanbul. That's why I'm at home. For those of you who just joined me, we're having a very interesting, a very in-depth discussion about Far East culture, China, Korea, and Japanese culture, and in particular, China culture, which I researched deep and hard over my 10 years in China. Yeah, so very interesting discussion about this. Astro Boy has a lot to share about China as well. Astro Boy also did a lot of time in China. Yeah, very interesting. Most people don't understand this. Yeah, most people when they say, "Oh, this is Chinese," "Oh, that is Chinese," they know what is Chinese. No, I don't even know what is Chinese anymore. Like I see these things, I would question where does it come from. You know, the only right now, if you ask me what is Chinese, the only thing fair I can say is this. Okay, if you hold a China passport, you're Chinese. That's all. If you do not hold a China passport, don't tell me you're Chinese. That's all I can say. Yeah, it's very hard to define. I have friends in China who are Chinese, who speaks Mandarin, who holds the China passport, but they are blonde, blue-eyed Russians. Yeah, China is is all kinds of different races mix and match and mix and mash together. If even what's a Han Chinese? Most of my friends in Beijing, they're either Mongol, Manchurian, mixed descendants, mixed like crazy. Yo. Oh, the only Chinese, like only some of the minorities, they interbreed strongly and they don't mix breed a lot. Like the Choson Chinese, Cao Xianju, the Chinese Koreans. Oh, they are very tight community. They pretty much over the past, they've been in that region of China for about 400 years. They came from Korea, by the way. One general took his entire army to that part of China because of the invasions from the Mongols, the Manchus, and the Qing dynasty. So he took this his whole army from the border of Korea and just went into seclusion in today's that area, Xianzhu Zizhi区of China. So that, but they speak Mandarin. Of course, they don't speak Korean. They speak Choson dialect, which is a form of Korean language, which to me is the original Korean language. Yeah, because the modern Korean language uses a lot of English lexicons. A lot of vocabulary in modern Korean is actually English. A lot. Yeah. So, like TV in Korean is TV. Yeah, but I'm sure the Choson people don't call it TV. They probably have their own terms. So, these people, they maintain their gene pool really well. They rarely interbreed, and they're still struggling with finding an identity in China. Yeah. Astro Boy, it's fun to travel China by 高铁. Oh, yeah, 高铁. Liana. Yeah, I know a lot of Russians that are adopted by Chinese parents in China. Yeah, and not just adopted, because in that region, especially during the Qing dynasty, the final dynasty of China, there were a lot of Russian invasions and Russian cultural intermingling in the northern parts of China was like completely normal. And so this culture start to trickle into what is called China or Chinese. In fact, the map of China looked very different during the Qing dynasty compared with the Republic time, and finally to the communist China. The map was actually different in all three periods, and the map was biggest during the Qing dynasty period, because the Qing dynasty period included all of Mongolia as China. And so if Mao Zedong changed this. Actually, if Mao Zedong did not exclude Mongolia from China, Mongolia would be China by now, would still be China, which that whole thing would be regarded China. And now let me ask you, then where is Mongol right now? Then where is Mongol culture? Yeah. See, in the end of the day, this whole thing you call China is a very complex hodgepodge of deep history and cultures, and it's very hard to define. I honestly don't know what Chinese is anymore. That term used so loosely, that term everybody seems to know. I don't really know. I cannot define the boundaries of what it is to be Chinese person, or where does Chinese culture start and end. I can't define. The more you dig, the more you learn about China culture, the less sure you become. Just like Europe culture. The deeper you dig into European culture, the less sure you become about the exclusiveness of each of the culture in Europe as well. Oh, 1.5 hours of talking about Far East culture. Very interesting. Are you guys surprised that hot pots and cheongsams are not Chinese? Are you guys surprised? Or you guys already know this? That the cheongsam or qipao and huo guo or hot pot, both of these things are not even Chinese. You guys know this already? I hope you can keep the stream up so I can rewatch it later. Oh yeah, it's gonna be up. When I'm at home, it's very stable. When I'm at home, internet is stable, everything is stable. Things become very volatile when I stream outside, even in a cafe. Internet come and go, it's very volatile. The environment is volatile, the internet is volatile. When the noodles are all from China, like I shared just now, all forms of noodles, from spaghetti to ramyeon, everything came from China. And specifically, it started from where, It started from this one place in China, actually. Wasn't Lanzhou. What was that? Was it Lanzhou? No, it wasn't Lanzhou. I forgot what's the name of that place. It's a 2-word name. Anyways, I can't remember. It's a 2-word name. It's a place in China where Marco Polo learned how to make noodles and took the spaghetti formula back to Italy. And pretty much from that place in China, it's 2 words. I forgot what's the word. Astro Boy, if you know that, can you refresh my memory? From that place in China, noodle spread across China and to Korea and to Japan. Yeah. God bless the creation of noodles. So delicious. Yeah. So, the agricultural, where agriculture started, the two most, China was one of the first most ancient agricultural societies, and they learned to make things from wheat and rice flour very early. So develop all kinds of stuff. Most people don't know, but there was once upon a time, right? The leader of technology was not the West. There was once upon a time the leader of all forms of technology was China. From windmill power, from all kinds of power, river power, wind power, a long time ago during the Song Dynasty. Song Dynasty was when ancient China was at its technological peak, and was the peak of technology in the whole world, where people are really going to China to learn these technologies. And of course, from then, the powder they use for fireworks got turned into guns by the West. The West back then could innovate better in terms of weapons using the same materials. Liana, yeah, I learned that. I was like, wow, so amazing. Yeah. Now, how many of you here already knows that cheongsam and hot pot is not even Chinese? Before I shared with you guys the history, how many of you already know that cheongsam or qipao and hot pot or huo guo is not even Chinese? Anyone? Oh, Nanako Jen, hi. Oh, ohayo gozaimasu. Irashaimase. Liana, yeah, I learned that. Liana, I thought hot pot was Japanese, but yeah, no. Japanese hot pot is shabu shabu. Okay, same like Korean hot pot, and it all came from China. And China hot pot was Mongolian. It came from the Yuan dynasty 1,700 years ago, by Kublai Khan. Wait, is it 1,000? No. Oh no, not 1,000. It's 1465. So that's about sorry. That's about 700 years ago. Yeah, 700 years ago. Yeah, not that far away. It's a Mongolian thing. Before Kublai Khan, the Chinese people didn't have hot pot. Yeah, and that culture started spreading across the Far East, and so Japan and Korea started to have their hot pot. You guys will be shocked, to know this about Korean dishes. No, when we talk about Korean dish, what comes to mind? Spicy, yes or no? Kimchi is spicy. Every damn thing is spicy, yes or no? Yes or no? Like, you think that is traditional Korean food, yes or no? Yes or no? Before I review the real history. Liana, well, thank you Mongolians for hot pot. Yeah. Korean wasn't spicy. Oh, but Korean food is generally spicy. Okay, generally spicy. Pretty much every other form of jjigae and kimchi is spicy, yeah? But do you know that spicy Korean food is a very recent invention? It's less than 100 years old. Before I think the Portuguese brought in chili pepper to Korea didn't have any chili pepper. Nothing was spicy for thousands of years in Korea until recently. Yeah. So you see all these things, right? You need to dig the history to know what it really is, what it really was. Even Japan, sukiyaki, right? You do know that sukiyaki is not traditional Japanese food either? Japan didn't start eating beef until very recently as well. Until very recent history, eating beef, like in Japanese eat fish primarily, eating beef was considered barbaric in Japan for thousands of years. Yeah, until recently, then the beef eating started. So it's not even traditional. Astrobot, chili didn't come to Japan and Korea until the 16th century. Yeah, I think by the Portuguese people, I think they brought in chili pepper very recently. It's not traditional at all. A lot of things we think is traditional, this and that, and we think to know, this is Chinese, that is Korean, that is Japanese. But if you dig the history, it's not that clear, It's not that clear cut at all. That entire region was never that clear cut. Even let's talk about hanbok. Is hanbok Korean traditional dressing? Hanbok. Actually, this is not from me. If you're Korean, don't be offended, because this is actual history and also accepted and by Korean historian. Hanbok came from China, from one of the dynasties in China where that very fashion of clothing got adopted by Korean people and kept to this day. Yeah, kimono was from China. Kimono was yukata was what Chinese people wore during the Tang dynasty. Yeah, you want to talk about all this thing, dig deep enough or far long enough, that entire region was very homogeneous at one point, about 1,500 years ago, in terms of language, food, and clothing. Yeah. Stoner for life. Oh, hi bro. Hope you're going good, healthy. It's great. I haven't seen you for a long time, Stoner. Welcome. Today is 11 degrees Celsius morning, stormy, rainy morning here in Istanbul. That's why I'm at home, nice and cozy. I don't go out when it rains at all. I love to stay at home when it rains. That's why I keep saying, the very first thing I check every day I wake up, the very first thing I check is draw the curtains and look at the sky. Where is the sun? If it's sunny, where is the sun coming up today from? You know that if you're sensitive enough, every day the sun comes up at a slightly different position. Very interesting. What kind of weather, it affects everything I do for the day. Liana. Yeah, but it's fun to learn this true history, yeah. But like, what is true history? Even that is debatable, okay? Like I always tell people, don't go by what you read. If you never really actually lived those times, you don't actually know. So I want to say that there's no actual real history. All history, all recordings, they all like human flaws are in all of these things. It's very hard. It's very hard to trace. Today, there's still, if it's so clear cut, there will be no more studies and no more debates. There's still a lot of anthropologic studies and a lot of debates about Far Eastern culture and history. A lot of debate, a lot of contradictions in Far Eastern culture and history. Yeah. So there is no such thing as true history. There are a few. You can only trace like certain things that are undeniable for maybe very recent. To me, very recent means upwards of 200 to 400 years. To me, 400 years is very recent human history. Yeah. But I found that anything beyond 500 years or about 1,000 years and more becomes very debatable. Very debatable. So I would say that when it comes to history, the really reliable records maybe is probably only up to about 200 to 300 years. Beyond that, it's very debatable. Even the ancient history of China, very debatable. Ancient history of Japan, super debatable. But at least right now, there's some academic agreement that the first emperor of China was the first emperor of Japan, Jimmu Zhenwu Dadi, Jimmu Tenno, was actually Chinese. Yeah. It's an academic agreement right now. It's not from me, okay? Because Japanese flip whenever I say this, but now it's not from me, it's from Japan. Okay, Japanese scholars and academics agree on this, okay? Liana, people think Dutch invented donut, but it actually comes from the East. Oh, yeah. All forms of pastries came from the East. Pretty much thousands years old, not modern. Yeah, not modern at all. Yeah. Stoner for life. Nice weather, rain the best, especially on the tin roof. Oh, I know, right? I've lived in tin roof before, and the sound. Ding, dang, 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 dang. Wow. I just sleep. Those days I would just sleep. Wow. How do I? Because back when I was very young, I lived in a village house. I lived in a village actually, and our house had tin roof as well. So when it rains, right, the sound is dang, 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 ding, dang, 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 ding, dang, dang, dang. And those days as kids, right, we just sleep. We don't go anywhere. We just sleep. And the smell in the air, so good. For those from Singapore, then you know I lived in a kampong, kampong. Stoner, I scuba dive off or Dutch shipwreck. Shish, wow, oh Shish from Barata, welcome to a 10 degrees Celsius rainy morning here in Istanbul. Not just rain, it was storming. It was like kind of a rain. Take a look. It's still raining though, but you can't really see it. It died down a lot. It's dying down a lot, but I'm not going to go out because the forecast still says rain throughout the day. I don't want to go out and get stuck in the rain. That's why days like this, I stream at home. That's why weather is extremely important for me. The weather pretty much decides what I do on a daily basis and how I do them. Astro boy, kampong boy. Yeah, I was a kampong boy. I grew up eating full organic fruits for free on the trees. So I know lifestyles that very few people know. Like when I was a kid, there was no computer and no such thing. So I run to the hill behind our house, and then I can always get free star fruit from the trees. You don't have to wash them at all. Just eat. Yeah, no nothing. It's natural in the hills, and I pluck rambutans, natural, and then I can bring back durians as well, all natural. Yeah, all for free. See, this is how original human life is. When you're hungry, you just go out there into nature and you get food for free. Today's people, so pathetic, working your ass off every day, hating your life just to buy food. When original human life is not, 진짜 한심해. 진짜 한심하잖아. If you have to live like that, the original human life was never like that. And I am so fortunate to be old enough. Yes, I'm very old. Old enough to have experienced that kind of original human life before when I was very young. Liana, starfruit is so delicious. Starfruit is the most delicious when you freshly pluck from the tree. And when you bite, the juice explodes. The star fruit bukake. The star fruit bukake is all over your face. Wow. Man. Shish. We never buy mangoes. Oh, yeah, in India, in the southern part of India, you just pluck mangoes. Yeah, everywhere. Yeah, till today, so many trees here. Yep. I know. Mangoes you can just pluck. Yeah, I know. In India, mainly in the southern parts, right? Also, the fruits on tree taste different than the ones you buy in the shop. Yeah, the ones you buy in the shops, right? They probably have some kind of insecticides. Probably has been through so many people touching, dropping on the floor, dropping here and there, maybe even dropping in the toilet, picked up and then put in the crate. You never know. But from the tree, it's 100% safe and 100% not been through nonsense. Liana, naughty star fruit. Yeah. Liana, yeah, straight from the tree is best. Yeah. Because whatever the fruits you're eating today, right, from the shops, you don't know what they've been through. They've been through a lot. From the tree all the way to your shop, they have been through a lot. Okay? You don't know. If you know every detail what they've been through, you probably won't even dare to eat the fruit, to be honest. I don't eat fruits, to be honest. All my life, I don't buy fruits at all. Ever since my childhood, where fruits stopped becoming free for me, I don't buy fruits at all. People like my mom, she literally had to force me to eat fruits, growing up. Fami, bye. Bye, Fami. Thanks for checking in. Wow, 1 hour, 40 minutes. Yesterday, 3 hours live stream, almost 3 hours yesterday, really compressed my routine so much that I could not do my nap in the afternoon. Excuse me. I didn't have time for my nap. So it really ruined me. At night, I was wrecked. So today, I can't do 3 hours, okay? Today, I will stop at 2 hours, right? Because I need my nap. If I don't do my nap at night when I work, I'll be a wreck. Yeah, I was so wrecked last night just because yesterday afternoon, I missed my afternoon nap doing this live stream for 3 hours. Liana, when I was a kid, I wanted to have all kinds of fruit trees. Interesting. Just in my house backyard, we had 3 varieties of mango trees and guavas. Wow. Guavas are available 12 months a year. Wow. Yeah. People in India still can live the original human life. There you go, Even if you don't work, you make no money, you never fear starvation. You can just, nature will provide for you. If you have not destroyed nature, nature will provide for you. Always. We are all part of nature until we destroyed it and replaced it. And now, everybody, now, it's a joke for me to see people working their ass off, hating their life just to be able to put food on the table. Where food has always been free, provided by nature for the original human beings. And today, in some cultures, you can still experience this, like in India. Like when I was young, I never had to buy any fruits. In fact, original human beings will live off fruits a lot, yeah? You can pretty much live off fruit, yeah? That means I never had to pay for food. I never had a reason to work to make money for food, honestly. Liana, I'm in the wrong country for a lot of fruits. Oh, yeah. Oh, you should go to India. Okay, I'm not telling you what to do, yeah, because whenever you say you should do this, you should do that, people take it very wrongly, okay? You might want to check out India. Oh, India, you have so much, like the fruit and food of India. Wow, growing up, I love Indian food so much. Growing up when I was a kid, my mom always tell me, like you should marry an Indian wife one day, because every day I just want my biryani, my curry, my masala. Every day I need my dosa and my parota and my roti. Yeah. Shish. Yeah, we eat fruits when we fast during pujas. Food doesn't excuse me. Food doesn't need to be cooked all the time. We eat lots of roots. Yeah. Actually, over the past 1 year, I've been talking about the Pranic Diet a lot, right? That you get more than just calories from fruit. You get real life energy, prana energy or ki energy or the reiki energy from food. And you only get that from living live fruit. Anything you cook dies and the reiki is gone. The prana is gone. You get no prana, but you get a lot of calories. Yeah. So that's why people today are fat, You put on a lot of calories just to get a little bit of prana energy. And therefore you need to be very fat to just maintain a very normal human this thing. So when I cook at home, right? How I cook is so simple. I cook rice, crack an egg, and then I chop ashgot and carrot, wash them clean. I don't cook them. I mix it into the rice uncooked. Yeah, that's my bibimbap. No, I don't cook my vegetables. I will eat them alive. Eat them alive so that life energy becomes part of my energy. That's the Pranic Diet, by the way. So when it comes to the Pranic Diet, those guys interested, you can Google Pranic Diet. Okay, when it comes to Pranic Diet, you want to take most of your food raw and alive, not dead. When you cook your food, they die. Yeah, about 50% of your intake should be raw when it comes to Pranic Diet. In fact, when I was doing heavy Pranic Diet before I moved to this area of Istanbul, right? Because right now, after moving here, I discovered a Korean restaurant. And I'm actually working on something with the boss grandmother. So I've been eating Korean almost every day. But back in Nishantashi, for about a year back in Nishantashi, I was eating Pranic Diet. And about 75% of my food are all raw nuts and raw vegetables. Liana, I know you not telling me what to do. Okay, yeah. But Liana, some people take it differently, so I got to be very specific. Some people go like, you're not my father. What gives you the right to tell me what to do? Why should I do what you tell me I should do? Okay, then I should change my words, and you might want to check out. You might want to consider. Shish, I never met an Asian, including Middle East, that don't eat rice. Yeah, I think rice is what even Turkish people eat rice daily. Yeah, rice is pretty much a daily staple here in Turkey as well. Kim Teo, my TCM doctor told me not to eat raw food, including veggie. Okay, TCM has very different beliefs. All right, I cannot say I agree with everything about TCM, right? Because even modern science disagrees that. See, most things about TCM is about boiling food and extracting the so-called essence from the food into water, and therefore the big focus on all kinds of herbal soups. But not only does ancient Hindu tradition disagree with this, modern science disagree with this. Because why? When you do that, actually the essential minerals are all killed and gone. Yeah, well, under high heat, this essential vitamins and minerals just cannot exist. They all die. So eating nothing. Yeah. So I'm just saying from the point of view of modern science, and also collaborated with the ancient, which is much more ancient than China, yeah, ancient Hindu pranic food traditions or Ayurveda traditions, that just cooking is not good. Just cooking itself removes the good things. Yeah. But I know a lot of people believe in TCM. I'm not here to challenge. Yeah? If you believe in it, you believe in it. Yeah? But I'm just sharing some of my own knowledge and research into this area. Huh? Liana, even African and Caribbean rice is part of culture. Oh, yeah. True. Rice is big in most cultures. Shish. Mabel Tan, come here. Oh, Mabel Tan. Where's Mabel Tan? Oh, Mabel Tan. Oh, hi, Mabel. Sorry, I didn't see your comment. Mabel Tan, I miss India so much. It's still my favorite country after traveling the world. Wow. India has such flavor, if you know what I mean. Yeah, India is very flavorful. But I'm sorry, my favorite country so far is not India. My favorite country so far is here, Turkey. And my favorite city is Istanbul. For reasons that I have mentioned many times before. Mabel Tan, come here anytime except June, July, because it's scorching hot. Maybe I was in the Cochin, Kerala area during the June, July time, like 45 degrees Celsius. not fun. Mabel Tan, thank you, Shish. Liana, my soul craves rice. Cook yourself, but make sure you know how to cook. I find that a lot of Western cultures, they cook rice wrong, and therefore you end up poisoning yourself. Okay, a lot of people don't know this. Do you know rice is poisonous? Rice contains at the highest degree of organic arsenic in all of food. That means rice extracts all the arsenic from the organic arsenic from roots from the ground and keep it in those grains, and therefore if you do not wash it in a certain way, you end up poisoning yourself over time, and you don't die from this kind of intake of organic arsenic, but you lose hair. You start to lose hair, like poisoning. So if you don't wash it properly, how to wash rice properly? Okay, for the sake of all my Western friends who may not grow up in this culture, in our culture, we wash rice with clean water at least 5 times. After one time, you see the water become milky white, pour that away. That's all the arsenic things, Second dose, again, it becomes slightly less milky, pour it away. About 5 times later, it will become quite clear. That's when you cook the rice. I see a lot, especially like right now, I am very, very afraid of eating rice in restaurants. You know why? Because most restaurant operators do not bother to wash rice the right way. They just take the rice in, put water, and then just cook right away. You eat those kind of rice enough, you start to lose a lot of hair. It actually poisons you. You can Google for arsenic in rice on Google for this. And also the other way that East Asian people, we reduce the impact of the arsenic in rice is by making porridge out of rice. When you cook rice with a lot of water and it becomes porridge, the degree of influence of the arsenic content becomes very, very low. So that's why porridge has been a health food in across East Asia for, I don't know, maybe thousands of years. Yeah, like porridge has existed probably as long as rice has. Okay, and therefore porridge in East Asia across China, Korea, and Japan has always been a health food. Why? Because the arsenic content is very, very low, right? So after listening to this, right, you guys may be, do you know that I go to the Korean restaurant a lot? Yes. Do you know that I actually hang out in the kitchen and see how they do the rice? I want to see that they're preparing the rice the right way. I don't want to go there every day and get poisoned by the rice, and they do. The Korean grandmother, she washes the rice like 3 to 4 times before cooking. That's correct. Yeah. That's why I feel very safe eating in this Korean restaurant. Not all restaurants serve rice correctly, and most of these rice are going to poison you. Shish, rice, Elma, I ate a lot of rice as a child. Man, I hope you guys were eating rice correctly, Shish, rice is not a food, it's an emotion. Liana, I always know how to cook rice. I wash mine 8 times in cold water. Okay, good. As long as it becomes clear, okay? As long as you're not eating rice where the water is milky white, okay? You're poisoning yourself. Kim Teo. Then skincare with rice water is toxic. Of course. I know you're talking about SK2. SK2 is not made from rice water. SK2 is a very specific form of yeast, which that's why only SK2 exists, because the Japanese inventor researched hundreds of different varieties and hybrids of yeast to get the exact yeast that can do anti-aging. If it is not such a big secret, there will be 10 million different companies making SK2 today. It's a huge secret. They got this secret yeast, It's not just any yeast, and it's not rice water. Don't ever use rice water on your face. Ever. Don't ever do that. She's true about porridge. We literally eat porridge after a heavy meal to balance out the heavy meal. People think it's food for sick people. Nah, it's good for anyone, anytime. Yes. Porridge is eaten across East Asia as a health food, not only when you're sick. And it's a popular form of breakfast in China. People have porridge for breakfast in China. Oh, in Japan I see porridge for breakfast as well. Not so much in Korea. Rihan, hello. Yes, you're very late, and I have to end in 5 minutes because yesterday going 3 hours yesterday wrecked my day. Wrecked my day because I could not have my afternoon nap, and because I didn't have my afternoon nap, my night time was wrecked. I couldn't work properly. I couldn't focus. So I cannot go 3 hours. I need to stop at 2 hours, and then after that I need to have my lunch and I need to sleep. If I don't get the nap, then tonight I'm wrecked. Okay, I'm very sorry. I'm like my routine is starting to form and it's looking very rigid right now. So 5 more minutes, guys. And today has been a really good discussion about East Asian cultures, about rice, about what's that? What else did we discuss? Oh, about human food. Yeah. Rihan, my bad. No. It's okay. You come on anytime you like. Okay. You can watch the replay later on as well. No big deal. Yeah, no big deal. Don't feel obliged. Okay, Rihan. Okay, this is not school. Okay, you don't have to be on time. You don't even have to come daily. Alright. Oh, so perky. Look at that. This is the result of my face yoga, by the way. 46 years old and so perky chicks. This is not natural, by the way. Most 46 years old, this part will be completely flat because they never upkeep the muscle using face yoga. This is 100% the result of face yoga. People in their mid-40s would have lost this muscle by now if you never did any form of face yoga. And this is what keeps your face looking young, no? Not wrinkles. You can have wrinkles and still look young, But it's this. Oh, look at this chunk. Looks delicious, man. Looks like you can cut it off, put it in a dumpling, and it looks delicious. Liana, do you have video for face yoga? Of course. Go to my channel and then look for the video called how to get rid of jowls. Just search for jowls, JOWL. That's the most popular video on my channel. 250,000 views so far. Yeah. Just search for JOWL, jowls. That's the video I showed my full face yoga. It's the most popular video on my channel. 200, I think probably about 300,000 views by now. The face yoga is the most important thing I do every morning, honestly. Every morning and evening. Shish. Did Limpeh just call himself delicious? Oh yeah. Sometimes I find myself it's very interesting. Looking handsome, like handsome in Korean is moshita. And delicious in Korean is mash. So sometimes, you look at someone who is very handsome, you go like, oh, mashiso. Oh, no, moshiso. Oh, this guy looks so delicious. No, it's handsome. Liana, I don't know what jowls is. Jowls is saggy cheeks. Saggy cheeks are called jowls. How to get rid of the saggy cheeks. The saggy cheeks is actually what makes you look old. And you get the saggy cheeks because you lost this muscle that holds up the cheek. The cheek, a lot of people try to get rid of the jowls by cutting weight. And you end up looking very skinny and very haggard and with sunken cheeks, yeah? Because you're so worried about the cheek sinking. The real solution is to hold up these muscles, upkeep the muscles that hold up the cheek. And the good news about muscle is this: muscles last all your life. You have 70-year-old men who are still pumping and building muscles. Muscles last as long as you work them. That's why I keep saying, no, I am very confident I'll still look something like this in my 60s. Because I upkeep this muscle. And these muscles will never go away as long as you keeping them. By this logic, I will still look the same in my 60s. Rehan, I saw a video where you used a green tea bag for dark circle. Oh yeah, it works very well. But you have to follow the exact advice. Okay, there are a lot of things to look up for. It's not just any green tea bag. Watch the video for the details. You need the details. Not any green tea bag will do. Yeah. Liana, I saw your cheeks. I thought kawaii. Yeah, this is not natural. I work this like I work my biceps and stuff. Yeah. Liana, I have good cheek muscle, but yeah, when you still have those muscles, you better work them. By the time they are gone, it's too late. Okay, by the time you're gone, you pretty much, I don't know, you may be able to, but I think upkeep is better than trying to recover. Yeah. So yeah, guys, that's it for today's live stream. Thank you guys for joining me. And for those of you who are new to my channel, this is a live stream where every morning here in Istanbul, here as I'm in Istanbul for 1 year, 3 months right now, I bring you guys to a different place or location here in Istanbul, discover something about Istanbul, and then grab a coffee, chit chat about anything, everything about life. All right. If you enjoy my live stream, do help me by clicking the like button. Everybody, please mash the like button. You don't know how much the like button helps YouTubers like me. And if you would like to buy me a coffee of the day, you can go to the comments, click on the S button, and drop me a tip. Any amount will do, okay? But no obligations. And join me every morning, 10:30 a.m. Turkish time. And very good discussions today. I'll see you guys tomorrow, right? Thanks all of my friends, and thanks all my old friends who are rediscovering me through my live stream. Welcome. I hope to see you guys again tomorrow, right? Thank you. 안녕.